Mr. Black, I don't know if you know this, but Lord of the Rings is pretty good intellectual property. Few people want to get their hands on that bad boy, but as it turns out, it's kind of hard. Not just anyone get their hands on Lord of the Rings. You gotta have a lot of money, and even if you have the money, you can only get your hands on specific parts of the Lord of the Rings. For example, new Lord of the Rings movies are in the works at Warner Brothers. I believe they only have access to the Third Age portion of the Lord of the Rings, and while I'm not in the camp that loathes the recent series, in fact, I think I mentioned this before, I actually quite enjoyed the recent series, despite having a couple of small flaws. I'm always wary anytime Lord of the Rings stuff comes around. Because it's kind of like Star Wars. We're approaching Star Wars on this bitch. Like they're scaring me a little bit. However, I did hear that apparently, and maybe Mr. Black can confirm this if he knows, Peter Jackson may be tied or involved to these new films in some capacity. I don't know if that means necessarily directing them per se, but
he's probably gonna get a
producer credit or some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, all I know is I'm pretty sure the Third Age for Lord of the Rings, and I'm also pretty sure that one of the people literally said the words, we want the Lord of the Rings to be the next Star Wars type shit or something along those lines, where they want to Star Warsify the Lord of the Rings with movies and series and all of that kind of stuff. And
I got a hot take.
Okay, give it to me.
My hot take is no.
That might be the coldest take you've had in weeks.
I mean, I'm sorry, but leave the fucking Lord of the Rings alone. Y'all want to fuck around and go make the show and do your little thing. I still haven't watched it. Go ahead. And I'm not even going to blindly hate on it to hate on it. It's whatever. It's probably good. I'll eventually check it out. It is what it is. But when it comes to the movies, you've peaked. Straight up. And we're not talking Star Wars peaked.
Oh, we're beyond Star Wars.
You're beyond Star Wars peaked. You peaked. Period. So the answer for me is a big no. And when you're using, names like Peter Jackson to get me excited, the answer's still no. I'm sorry. Peter Jackson himself could say, hey, I'm coming back. I'm directing. I'm writing. I'm doing it all. I'm in. And my answer is still no. No. Leave it be. I like the property just like everybody else. I mean, I'm not like a huge Lord of the Rings lore type dude that watches the movies every year, during the holiday season, binge watches like fucking 14 hours of Lord of the Rings. No, but I've seen the trilogy at least 5 times in my life. I do like it a great deal. I can't honestly say anything bad about any of those films. They are good fucking movies, and they hold today. They're still good today. You could rewatch them and enjoy them just as much as you did back then. I don't need any more Lord of the Rings. If I need Lord of the Rings, I'll go watch the 3 Lord of the Rings that we already got. And hell, if I'm feeling extra spicy, I'll go watch The Hobbits. But let's be real. The Hobbits, not as good, nowhere near as good as Lord of the Rings. And let me tell you something. These new Lord of the Rings movies, they ain't even going to be as good as The Hobbit. So it's only going to go downhill. The answer's no. And when you're coming at us like, oh, they want to make it the new Star Wars. Star Wars is dead. You really want to be the new Star Wars? Is that what you really want? It used to be cool to say you want to be the Star Wars. And we're talking 6 episodes in. It ain't cool to say that anymore. You don't want to be Star Wars. You don't. I'm sorry.
Listen. Who directed the Hobbit movies?
I don't even know.
If I'm not mistaken, it was also Peter Jackson, was it not?
I know he was at least an executive. I think he might have been a director now that I'm thinking about it. At least for the first one. Did he do all three?
Hmm.
He did Peter Jackson. He did that one. Oh, he did too.
Hmm.
Yeah, he did. He did. No, previous director. Fuck, he did. Yeah, he directed all of them. So there you go. The answer's no.
So just my point is, not even Peter Jackson, when he was much closer to being on the sauce, and I'm not talking alcohol, but the man who made the original trilogy of films struggled to even get remotely close to matching the heat of those three. And now you want to try and do Lord of the Rings in 2023?
No.
And you ain't got nobody to the point where you're bringing up Peter Jackson's name again?
Dude, I think the only director on this planet where I'd be like, okay, I gotta see it now. I just gotta see it.
Adam Sandler.
Hell no. Steven Spielberg.
Sure.
If Steven Spielberg said, okay, you know what? I've been a huge fan of Lord of the Rings my whole life. It's time. That's the only director where I go, okay, you know what? I gotta see what this motherfucker's gonna do. Anybody else, including Peter Jackson, the guy, the man, the myth, the legend.
What about James Cameron?
No, because James Cameron would be like, for one, I'm deep in Avatar for the next fucking 30 years. And James Cameron would be like, yo, this shit's going to take me the next 7 years to... No, you know what? James Cameron, you just stay in your lane, all right? Stay in your lane, you do your thing. And here's the beautiful thing about James Cameron. This motherfucker creates his own shit. He ain't... James Cameron ain't the guy that's jumping on a franchise. And he most certainly ain't jumping on a franchise to like reboot it or whatever. James Cameron, I'm sorry, but James Cameron is on another level than what Peter Jackson is in terms of
so is
original
Steven
ideas.
Spielberg.
So is Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Peter Jackson is an incredible director, and he did an amazing job with Lord of the Rings.
He's just hit or miss. Like, Peter Jackson either hits a fucking home run or it's a miss. Like, he doesn't, like... It's like, you ever watch fucking... when's the last time you saw King Kong?
A long time ago.
Like Peter Jackson has got some great movies, but they're not... It's not like Steven Spielberg or James Cameron, where every movie is a certified fucking banger.
I mean, to be fair, James Cameron, pretty much all he did was Lord of the Rings. I mean, you mean
Peter Jackson?
Sorry, Peter Jackson. He's got King Kong, great, and that was a good movie. All right, it was that he did the one with Jack Black.
Yes,
I mean,
yep.
it
was okay.
It's a good. It's okay. It's okay. But outside of that, he's got like a couple of movies in the 90s and some bad films in the 80s. Everything is Lord of the Rings. I mean, the dude went from 2001 to 2004 doing all these Lord of the Rings movies, which is actually quite impressive. They managed to do all of that shit.
It's a lot of filming.
Yeah, in 3 years, pretty much. And then from 2012 to 2015, all he did was The Hobbit. And in between, he did King Kong. And he did The Lovely Bones, which I don't even think I've seen.
I thought that was... I can't remember if that was well received or not. I recognize the name of it.
It's not as well received as some of his other stuff. But yeah, no. So anyway, instead of rambling on about this, the answer's no. The answer is no. Make the shows. I'm not interested in the movies. And call it a hot take. Maybe it's not that hot of a take, but no. Let it go.
Apropos of absolutely nothing, I just recognized something as I was laughing at the Lord of the Rings memes. This camera makes me look like I've been doing meth and drinking coffee while swishing it around in my mouth for 7 years straight. What the fuck? No, you can't see it because you're on the webcam, Jeff. But like, I was laughing. I was like, why do I look like I don't brush my teeth? What's going on over here? I look like a friggin' drug addict. It's fucked up. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. I guess the upside is I either get fucked up teeth, but yet I don't look gray. I gave myself a nice tan. I don't know if you see this on stream. I got a nice tan today. That's thanks to a little camera magic. Otherwise, I just blend into the background.